Good evening and welcome to the News Channel 12 Network. I am lead anchor and manager Robert Dobbs, and here is what's happening in your world tonight. An Arctic blast brought a late winter snowfall to Middle Tennessee this weekend. Many in the region are waking up to snow and ice on the roads Saturday morning, which has led to tricky road conditions. At 6 a.m., a crash was reported on eastbound Interstate 24 in South Nashville near Bell Road. All eastbound lanes were blocked due to the crash for several hours. By 10:45 a.m., the roadway had reopened. In Spring Hill, an overturned truck blocked a few lanes of Interstate 65 near Thompson Station Road. The roadway fully reopened by 7:45 a.m. Chief Meteorologist Lorante Barbie will have more details about the current weather status in his upcoming update. A controversial new bill in the Tennessee legislature would keep prisoners behind bars for their entire sentence. Derek Holloway learned the trade of carpentry while in prison for arson. Now he's turned his life around. At One Son's Carpentry and Woodworking, he hires people who have been in trouble to help them get back on their feet. It's either we keep them in there for longer periods of time, put a double burden on taxpayers, or if we give them an incentive and we make them productive members of society, give them a sense of hope, Holloway said. It would increase the state budget by nearly $28 million to keep them locked up. Participating in prison programs can help them get an early release. They give you 15 to 25 years. Well, the victims think, hey, that's pretty good. They're going to be there for a while. But in Tennessee, they get out in under 6 years. House Speaker Cameron Sexton was quoted saying this. But the new bill would change that. Florida put in a truth in sentencing, and they saw a huge reduction in crimes. Sexton said, but sometimes you have to ask the question, what's the life worth? At that home invasion in Memphis where one student died, he got killed because the person only served less than 18 months with 14 years of criminal history. The family of Rhodes College student Drew Rayner, who was murdered, testified in favor of the bill on February 23rd. Derek's wife, Lindsay Holloway, is upset about the bill. It will make me cry talking about it, Holloway said. Undo every bill we've worked on for the last 5 years. She served time for dealing stolen guns before she got help behind bars. Now she advocates for criminal justice reform. She also operates a re-entry program for women called 12’s Living Ministries. And now I'm getting to see girls that I know that are getting degrees while they're incarcerated. And when they come out, they have a step ahead, Holloway said. Lindsay fears if the incentive of early release is taken away, prisoners will have no motivation to improve themselves. That's one of the greatest things. We're the second chance country, and I think we deserve that, Holloway said. You can watch the discussion among lawmakers in the video posted on News Channel 5 Network, and you can learn more information there as well. Now, if passed, it would apply to people convicted of a crime after July of 2022, and the charges that it applies to are aggravated assault, vehicular homicide, aggravated vehicular homicide, possessing a firearm or antique firearm during commission or attempt to commit a dangerous felony, attempted first-degree murder where the victim suffers serious bodily injury, aggravated kidnapping, especially aggravated kidnapping, aggravated robbery, especially aggravated robbery, especially carjacking, aggravated burglary, especially aggravated burglary, aggravated arson, manufacture, delivery, or sale of a controlled substance where the instant offense is classified as a Class A, B, or C felony and the person has 2 or more prior convictions for the manufacture, delivery, or sale of a controlled substance, classified as a Class A, B, or C felony prior to or at the time of committing the instant offense. The Tennessee Titans are exploring options to continue playing in a stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River. Titans president Bert Nehill discussed the team's plans Thursday at a Sports Authority board meeting in Nashville. Nihil said that the team has been working for years on plans to renovate Nissan Stadium, but now those plans have nearly doubled in costs. We have for years been pursuing a renovation as the primary objective. If we could accomplish it with the idea that that would be just more cost effective, likely than starting with a new building, Nihil said. We love our real estate. This is a very classic place for an NFL stadium. He explained that the team worked with an architect to create concepts for renovation in 2020. When looking into the potential cost, he said the number came back very palatable, around 500 to 600 million. However, due to high inflation rates, Nihil said when the team recently did a second check-in on the potential costs, the renovation price nearly doubled to 1.2 billion. One of the options we are thinking about is a new stadium. Whether given the investment that would be required and a renovation, it's within a whisker potentially of a new stadium, Nihil said. We have eliminated any possibility. We are pursuing all possibilities. The Titans currently are working with local officials on the design and cost for a new stadium on the parking lots between the current stadium and Interstate 24. We still believe, to the extent we have an influence, that converting 100 acres of parking into Nashville's next great neighborhood, that's built around Nashvillians, that's built around locals for all income levels, all races, all experiences. That is the goal of this neighborhood, he said. Nihil said any rumors that the Titans are looking to build a sports and entertainment district is untrue. The Titans reject that notion. In fact, we are just hopeful that we end up with a stadium that ends up a part of one of the more celebrated neighborhoods in Nashville, he said. We have heard that News Channel 5 reached out to the Titans to clarify if they have fully moved from plans to renovate Nissan Stadium at this time. A spokesperson for the team said both options are still being considered. A renovation is still very much on the table. We are just trying to determine if it's the smartest long-term plan. Renovating the current stadium's infrastructure is difficult because of the materials used to make it. They have lifespans and are getting weary and are not very flexible, said a spokesperson for the team. Due to those infrastructure needs, we recently learned about and this inflationary environment we're in, the original 500 to 600 million renovation budget we were aiming for is now no longer possible, and we're looking closer to double that budget now. If we were to move forward with that, there could still be an opportunity to do something exciting with the current stadium. But how long could that last with its infrastructure needs? That's the question we're investigating right now. The timeline for building a new stadium calls for trying to finish construction in time for the 2026 NFL season.